Today is September 14th, 2025, exactly 25 years after Windows ME was released to the public. And you're probably typing this in the comments. 7 said, who cares about Windows ME? It was one of Microsoft's biggest failures. Well, it looks like you do, because you clicked on this video. Anyways, in today's video, we're going to be talking all about Windows ME, some history on its development, some of its most important features, and why everyone considers it a failure of an operating system. I'm 7zeb, and this is 25 years of Windows ME. Our story actually starts before Windows ME's development even started in 1998, when Microsoft released Windows 98. Microsoft had said that Windows 98 was going to be the last version of Windows that was based off of MS-DOS. However, that decision was changed in 1999 when Microsoft released Windows 98 Second Edition. Most people don't consider 98 Second Edition to be a separate operating system. However, Microsoft announced that there would be one last release of Windows based on MS-DOS, and that would be Windows ME. Our story starts on July 13th, 1999, which is the day that Windows ME build 2332.2 was compiled. It was released to testers 10 days later on July 23rd. The build is unique in Windows betas, as even though it's the earliest leaked beta in the Windows ME development history, it already has a lot of Windows Millennium Edition branding. There is also a survey button on error messages, and when you click on it, you get an error. I don't know what Microsoft was thinking when they made this. Let's move on to build 2348, which was compiled on August 2nd, 1998, and was released to testers 4 days later. This is actually the first build to tell users to close all applications before continuing. After the installation is finished, you will notice that Windows Media Player has been updated to early 7.0 beta. This build also adds a couple of interesting features, the first being the activity centers. Yes, those activity centers from Windows Neptune, since Microsoft was working at 3 projects at the time: Windows Odyssey, Windows Neptune, and Windows Millennium Edition. Now, since all 3 projects were being developed side by side, some of the features were shared between the projects. To get access to the activity centers, you have to make a new DWORD value called MILXTRADIRS in HKey local machines, software, Microsoft, Windows, current version. So after you create the key, you modify the value to 1, then go to C, Windows, System, and run a regsvr32 command to get access. The files for the activity centers are placed in C, Windows, Activity, with some of the pages there. The Music Center that we see in Neptune is called Audio Center in this build, and is mostly incomplete. The Photo Center seems somewhat finished, and the Game Center is completely missing. Fun fact, in the activity centers in Neptune build 5111, you can see Windows Millennium Edition branding. It shows you that the activity center feature was supposed to be a shared feature between the 2 operating systems. However, at some point the activity centers were scrapped and they were never seen again. This build also introduces a system restore function. However, if you try to open it, you get a PC health error. System file protection is also included in this build. You may know it as Windows File Protection in Windows 2000 or XP. However, once you set the register key to Y, the system will hang on boots. Let's move on to build 2358, which was compiled on August 16th, 1999, and released to testers 4 days later. This build also contains the activity centers and is mostly unchanged from the last build. There is a new out-of-box experience which can be accessed by running C, Windows, System, OOBE, msoobe.exe, where you can see the OOBE. However, you cannot get past the product key entry. To access the rest of the pages, you have to go to C, Windows, System, OOBE, New OOBE, and continue from there. System Restore is also present in this build, but actually functions now. And to enable it, you have to set HKey local machine, System, current control set, services, VXD_VXDMON System Restore to Y. After rebooting, you'll be able to run System Restore in C, Windows Restore, and running rstrui.exe. System file protection is also included in this build like the last build, except for this build, it will actually work after changes from registry entries. The official RTM build, Build 3000, was compiled on June 8, 2000, and was released on September 14, 2000. Let's move on to why people hated Windows ME. To start it off, it was because of the same reason people hated Windows Vista. Drivers! Since Windows ME was rushed, it was made in a year, there was not enough time for bug fixes or drivers. Another issue was the removal of the ability to restart in MS-DOS mode, which got people mad a lot. But the thing is, Microsoft was just trying to get people used to not having DOS anymore. Windows XP didn't have DOS anymore since it was an NT-based operating system, but we got used to it. It's like when Apple released the iPhone 7 and removed the headphone jack. Back then everyone was mad, but now wireless headphones are the future. But that didn't matter. Windows ME's legacy was decided from its launch, just like Vista's. And with that, Windows ME turns 25 years old. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like the video. If you really enjoyed it, please subscribe, as I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Also feel free to comment a video idea, how you thought of the video, or you're just raging at me in the comments because you think Windows ME was the greatest operating system of all time. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.